Now?
Yes. Welcome to Roleplay Cafe. We are here again for Alien, the RPG, uh, with our GM John, Doon, Todd, and myself, Dell. As I'm sure we're going to get to some horrific alien species, but until then, we'll just have to live in dire fear. This is what is this episode or
Seven.
session
Seven.
7? Okay, that's what I was thinking. 7. All right, John, descend us into the maddening hell.
All right. So this series has been a bit of a slow burn leading up to this to the alien part of the game, but last time
Spoiler.
the
I didn't know that.
what do you mean you didn't know that?
I didn't
You
know
were here
that
last time.
I didn't know specifically that was going to happen now.
No,
No,
there's,
well,
yeah,
I mean,
there's,
this is
there's
the-
like black goo and stuff happening in the
I know.
lines.
Yeah. Right.
No,
Yeah.
that's-
Oh, I thought that was gearbox oil. I'm sorry. No, the black worms. Okay, anyways, I'm sorry. That's right.
yeah,
I'm just reading that now.
pretty
Got it.
nasty. Pretty nasty.
That's right. Okay, never mind.
I mean,
Is that
technically,
All right.
we are aliens.
And yeah, maybe this is their home world and you're the alien. So last time you guys had made contact with the two families that live here, the Parks and the Morinos. And you were trying to, get their cooperation so that you can both get a better sense as to the state of this colony on the planet, and also, arrange to get them back up onto your ship with you because they're kind of in dire straits here. Over the course of the last session, you started searching around the area while Tan completed his repairs of the comms array. And the sandstorm that you had detected from orbit had passed the area. But Tan noticed that there was some sort of dark, like shadowy cloud that was following it. And it turned out to be some sort of swarm of locusts that started flying towards the colony. Everyone was scrambling to get cover because the matriarch of the Marino family told you that these things were going to consume anything out in the open. And you all ran for cover. However, Hamada, who is currently controlled by Todd, was out in the open on top of the cliff face. She was making her way around, doing a patrol when she was caught up there and had to make a run for it and decided to jump down about 25 feet, we said, from onto the roof of the harvester kennel. The only thing that saved her was her armor, and she managed to crawl into a ventilation shaft to protect herself from the incoming locust. Once the locust had passed, you had a further conversation with the two families and found out that the Park's son, Benny, has been missing. And, they don't want to leave until you have found him, and they were concerned that he would, may have been killed by the locust. So you decided to start a search while you asked Amelia Moreno to start gathering some logs and statistics and stuff for the state of the colony before the power outage. And things basically fell apart. And she begun doing that inside of the control block, which is connected to their two houses. So, Benny's father, Morgan, was fairly confident that he is most likely in the mines because him and Danny Marino, the Marino's son, while not very good friends, will both go exploring in the mines, which have been abandoned since the power was no longer available. So I believe that it was Yoko. Was it just Yoko and Morgan that went in the mine? Is that right? That's right?
I think that's right.
Right, dude?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone else, Hamada was getting patched up. What was Tan doing at that time? Do you remember, Del?
He was.
Trying to make contact.
He was.
Oh, that's right.
He's continually doing that, but he's also monitoring the satellite. That's how he got the information.
Oh, that's right. You were able to see some satellite movement.
Yeah, ascertain where they had went into the mine. So I was still kind of monitoring that while I was trying to get in contact with the ship. So
that's right. I left that part out. That Tan had established contact with a surveillance satellite and was tracking movement before you arrived, and that's how you determined that he went into the mine.
Yeah.
All right. So when Yoko and Morgan were in the mine, they got to basically the end of it where the mining had stopped, and that's where they found Benny kind of almost having like a seizure or something. Part of his body was submerged into a black liquid that seemed to be pooling at the end of the mine. And you began dragging him back out into the colony when Yoko noticed that the thick, slick, oily liquid that he was splashing in was getting all over both him and Morgan. And that's when he saw these little black worms crawling on his arm and sleeve. And they were also, and when he looked over to Morgan, he saw they were all over Morgan because he was taking most of Benny's weight. So, why don't we are going to go back to the ship and find out what's going on up there. But why don't we establish what Yoko and Morgan's immediate reactions are and what they're going to do.
I recall, I feel like I dropped Benny, or maybe just
yeah,
and was kind of trying to get him off, but panicking. Did I roll a panic in that moment? I think I did, didn't I?
It'd probably be the last thing.
Frozen by fear or stress for a round.
Oh yes, that's right. Yep. Yeah, because you did an observation roll and you got a 1 on your stress dice. So yes, you did freeze and drop him. Morgan is going to, he sees you freaking out. You let go of Benny and he kind of falls down a bit, and Morgan's kind of holding him up with his arm around his shoulder, and you are basically unable to move for 1 round, and you see Morgan terrified, as he doesn't see the things on him or see them on you, and you're obviously trying to manically brush something off of you. He doesn't know how to react, screaming, "Get it together! We need to get him out of here! Help! Get up and help me!" And he starts, trying to basically drag Benny across the ground while he's still spasming. He only gets about 5 or 10 feet before you kind of come to your senses.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say that your compatriots do like kind of hear this commotion over the comms, because I would imagine you've been keeping in contact with
I'm trying to
them.
remember.
Yeah.
Did I actually mention to them what we saw? I did mention it to them when we first found him. I said, "Oh, he has like black eyes like Daver, right?"
Yes.
you did.
So,
You did.
but then I didn't mention that. I don't think I was able to. Like, I froze after I noticed it on us, so I haven't said anything since
Right.
then. I'm like definitely freaking out. I'm just gonna say they're all over us. You too. They're on you too.
What's on me? And he starts looking around, looking on his arm and his, from what he can see while he's holding his son.
Does he notice that they're wormy?
I'm going to do a roll for him.
Okay.
He's going to need 2 successes to see these without you actually pointing them out, because he's really concerned that his son is going to die. So that is his primary, primary drive right now. He got 1 success. Well, that's a lot of zeros. NPCs can't push, so he's not going to see them. And I'm not going to allow you to help because of your panic condition. Are Hamada and Tan going to do anything when they start hearing this all over the comms?
We hear it. Okay, yeah, great. So we have to. Jeez, I have a broken leg.
Yeah, you do.
I'm gonna say, Hamada, ask the Marinos if they've seen this before. There's like black goo and worms.
Yeah. Okay, so it's like, hey, heads up here.
Mm-hmm.
We got a situation over there in that mine there. These black wormy things and crawling all over our people and your people. What's going on here? Have you heard about this before?
You're standing right next to Diego because he's wrapping up your leg and treating it, and he looks confused. I don't know what that is. We've never encountered anything like that before.
Great.
And Amelia is not there. His son Danny is there. Can you give me an observation roll for Hamada, please?
Yep. Hold on. Okay, observation. Nothing.
No, nothing. Do you want to push?
Sure.
Oh boy.
Oh, really?
Let's see.
Panic condition 4.
All right. You are going to.
Stress
All right.
Decreased.
So you see a look of terror come over Danny as he hears this, and he starts interrogating his father as to what exactly these things are, and he says, "Oh my God, it opened. We were just playing around with it. I didn't think. I thought it was secure. Somebody hid it back there. I think it was those pirates that came earlier. Oh my God!" And
what am I supposed? Yeah.
And so, Danny is basically looking to his father, to understand, what it is he should do.
Right.
And Diego, this is the first he's hearing about it. And you are going to seek cover. How can we make this work? I'm going to say that because your leg is broken and being treated, you are not going to be willing to expose yourself
That's right.
to whatever this is because you feel like you're not capable of dealing with it, or uh, doing what a Marine normally needs to do in these situations. You're basically immobile. So I'm going to say, so for the purposes of your panic here, I'm going to say that your seeking cover means you will not leave the house where Diego is treating you.
Okay.
How you handle that in regards to asking other people to do things, I'll leave that up to you.
Okay. So okay, if I'm immobilized with fear, so I don't want to leave the house, but can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's like what are you talking about? What is this all about? What do you mean it opened? What opened?
There was some sort of canister or something that Benny and I found one day. It looked like someone stashed it at the end of the end of the mine, like they are hiding it or something.
How big of a canister?
He gestures, maybe about 4 feet long and about maybe a foot and a half in diameter.
At the end of the mine. And who would have opened it?
I don't know. Benny was more interested in it than I was, and we'd never seen anything like it before. But he was always playing with it and shaking it and trying to see if there was an opening.
Oh God!
And you can see Diego is getting really concerned, and he says, "Danny, look, I'm gonna finish wrapping up this Marine's leg. I need you to go get your mother and tell so she knows what's going on." And Danny looks at him for a second and then runs off in the direction of the control block to retrieve his mother. All right, so why don't we give? Oh, go ahead.
This is Tan. Yoko, get a hold of yourself. Get the kid out of there. It's just worms. If he needs some medical treatment, we need to get him to the ship, and Bertha can take a look at him.
How about I hear? I just heard that there was some sort of canister at the end of the mine that Danny and Benny had found, and Benny might have been showing some extra interest in it. He might have opened it. And that's what you're dealing with right now.
Curiosity killed the cat. It's just a couple of kids.
Yeah, well, what's in there is going to kill them if they don't get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
All right.
Shake a leg.
I have a question.
So, go ahead. Sure.
Do I feel anything or is it just what I've seen, and I'm like, as far as this oil,
it's on your clothes. Yeah, it's on your clothing, and you saw the worms writhing around in the sheen on your clothing.
Yep.
We're going to readdress this.
Okay.
But it sounds like do you guys want some time to come up with a plan, and in the meantime we go and see what's up on the ship, or do you want to resolve this right now?
Oh, we can continue on. I mean,
okay.
I'm still trying to reach the ship. Is there?
Yes.
I just want to scan to see if there's any kind of beacons around the area that I can set off here to send some kind of at least flash or something to
that's a good idea.
Like that, to let them know.
Signal fire.
SOS coders. Yeah, exactly. Since they obviously don't have the transistor on.
Maybe
I'm looking all through the console and looking for arrays. But the solar farms are there, so I can aim those toward.
Use it like a mirror.
Exactly.
Well, actually, what I was thinking was there's probably some sort of like lights or like radio beacon that you could activate on the surveillance satellite that you hacked into.
Oh,
I think that probably makes more sense than
yeah.
uh, trying to. I mean, they have to be a pretty bright light to be able to see it from orbit, just reflecting off of a solar panel. But I certainly think you could probably get their attention with that surveillance satellite. If not like directly broadcasting, you could do some sort of beacon or active start flashing lights onto that
Yeah,
or off of that. I mean,
yeah, just anything like that.
okay. I guess my point, the point I was trying to get across was that we don't want to have you communicate with the ship until we know what is going on in the ship because we haven't gone back up there since you left.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. I just want to let you know that's what I'll be doing. However you
okay.
that, you know
That's
what
a
I
good
mean?
plan. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, but if you guys are invested in what's going on right now, we can certainly bring this to a more of a conclusion, and then we can figure out what's going on
At
with
least
the
the
ship.
plan, right? So I have two questions just from my perspective. One is, can I feel
Yes.
anything, right? Because if that would change what I choose to do. If I like feel pain, or if I feel like sick, or whatever, that would change. That would, or if I feel
You
like stuff on like under my skin for real, like that would
No.
change my plan.
It's purely at this point it is purely a sight, and like you can see like 2 or 3 of these things on your arm
yeah.
wriggling around. They're heading towards your hand, like they want to get to your skin, but they are not on your skin right now.
My other question is, am I capable of continuing to help Morgan drag Benny out?
Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, he only got about 5 or 10 feet before you kind of came to your senses because he was really struggling to move his son while he was having like this seizure.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, I think we've gotten to the point where you can begin to act again.
Okay. So then I will. Then I'll listen to what Tan said because Tan said it's just worms. Get him out of there. So I will, like I'm still like creeped out, but at least I'll just like shut up and grab Benny's other arm and start dragging as quickly as I can. Like, let's get the hell out of here.
All right, so you guys are going as quickly as you can. So I'm going to ask you for a stamina roll. We're going to need 3 successes between the 2 of you in order to get Benny out before there is any more danger to anybody, more than they already are. So please do a stamina roll. I just did one, got 0 successes.
No problem.
Oh my god. This is part of the problem. This is part of the problem with Alien, is there are so many there's so many panics. It's ridiculous.
So little time.
You once you get up past like 3 stress die, you're like panicking every other roll.
Action failed. Panic roll is 10. I'm not sure. I didn't roll stress, but this popped up. Like I didn't click it.
Yeah.
We're all Bill Paxton's character.
That's what Game over, man.
Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah. So your action. Go ahead. Yeah. So your action automatically fails when you reach panic 10. So your stress. I'm sorry, not your panic level. Once it reaches a certain threshold, you will basically not be able to perform any action until it comes back down. Unfortunately, you've been taking the brunt of the stress so far in this session. But let's see, your stress is only 5. So, yeah. So if you look at your conditions, you can see that now that you've reached 10, you have this condition of panic, and you are basically unable to act until it has resolved.
Okay.
At this point,
I think it's reasonable given the condition or the situation.
right. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I would agree. But so that essentially, since Morgan rolled zero stamina or zero successes with his stamina, you guys start trying to hustle, and you can see, you're about halfway from the end of the mine to the opening when you just collapse, which causes Morgan to collapse with Benny, and Benny is convulsing on the ground, and Morgan is exhausted, and neither of you are going to be able to make any progress without additional assistance.
So they can't move. I won't leave where I am.
I'm going to say that at this point, your restriction of cover, that panic is going to pass, because that was only for a certain amount of time.
Oh, okay.
So if we go back to, where was that roll? Yeah, you just had to do that as your next action and find a safe spot.
Find a safe spot. But okay.
Yeah. So
I can't
after
go
one
to
round,
them?
so after the one round, it says after one round,
Yeah.
you are able to act normally. So that round is passed, and you can get up, yeah, and act normally as best as you can with this bandaged leg.
And hobble towards the mine to try and help them.
Yes.
Well, I'm a Marine, so I guess that's what I do. So I will. I'll hobble from. Where am I? The Marino's house?
The Park's house.
The Park's house. Okay, so I'll just say, give me something to use as a crutch, and I'll make sure my weapon's locked and loaded, and out the door I go hobbling towards the mine to save my companion.
All right. Is Tan going to do anything?
Tan is he's engaged in doing what he's doing. I don't know if that's going to take how long that's going to take. As far as signaling the ship with the.
Yeah, I mean, you've been trying to do this. I'm going to say that you kind of program the system to send like an SOS or something out through that comm satellite. So, I mean, you can, as these things occur, you can certainly change the actions that you're going to do.
What time of day or night is it? I mean, is it?
It's getting close to dusk. You've been here for most of the day.
I want to turn on any kind of external lights to light the area.
Okay.
To give Todd a clear path, and to see what's going on, basically.
Yeah, so there's some floodlights that are, over the two households, the warehouse and the ore processing, that you can illuminate the opening of the mine itself. There doesn't seem to be any lighting inside the mine.
Of course. Oh yeah, no, just the outside.
Okay.
Just kind of I'm just over the phone. Yeah, Morgan. I'm gonna light up this area. See if you can get Yoko moving, and I'll do what I can from up here. Let me know if you need anything. I'm looking for some vehicles. So when the lights are coming on, I'm scanning the yard for vehicles.
Okay.
I'm like, where's your? Are anybody coming to help him when I see him exit the building? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
looking to help Hamada when she leaves.
Morgan, go to get. Go to get.
Morgan is in the mine already with Yoko.
Okay, Hamada. Yeah, Todd's character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Is anybody coming with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, like any extra
I mean,
bodies to come help you, or you just got to hobble out there by yourself?
You
That may
can.
change my position.
So Hamada, like, starts limping out of the Parks house and making her way towards the mine. She's not exactly like sprinting, but she's moving as fast as she can.
It's a major failing of Hamada that she doesn't ask for help. She do it herself. Right?
So
Okay, that's when I
see-
curse under my breath and I'll leave. Because I'm like, no one's coming with you. To help pull the boy and the other
I'm
guy
ignoring
out.
that comment. I got this.
And you hear me sigh over the thing and then clink on my way, and then I'll exit and head in that direction too. But after
All right.
I did a quick scan and see if there's any vehicles,
I'll say that you have been able to, from the comms array, that you've been able to access some logs that there is some sort of like light 4x4 that is inside of the vehicle bay.
Okay. Well, if that in the vehicle bay is
That is close to the field.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry,
okay.
to the comms array where you are.
okay, and he's coming now from the greenhouses. I mean, Todd's character, Hamada.
No, I'm coming
No,
from Park's house.
The Parks house.
Oh, geez. Okay, Hamada, I'll meet you there. I see a vehicle in the vehicle bay. I'll commandeer that and we'll load them up, and maybe we can get. I'm excited now. Get to the
Okay.
the launch area.
Right. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to need you to give me a piloting roll. So this roll is basically for you to be able to get the vehicle started relatively quickly and get it out of the bay and meet up with Hamada. All right, you got a success. I assume you don't want to push.
No, I ain't gonna. I'll do it
All right.
nice and slow.
So this is kind of looks like it's some sort of like light scouting vehicle. It's kind of open air, sort of like a Jeep with its top off, and you pull it out of the vehicle bay and pull up next to Hamada, and she's used to jumping in these vehicles very quickly from her time in the Marines, and you peel off down into the mines and manage to figure out how to get the headlights on just as you're entering the mine. It does not take you long to see the shape of three people, one of them kind of up against the wall in the fetal position.
Okay.
And then you quickly realize that is Yoko, and in the center of the mine you see Benny kind of spasming on the ground with his father Morgan over him, trying to get him up.
Okay. Well, before I saw this, I was going to say I swing by and pick up Hamada because I saw.
Oh, they're in the exact same place, basically.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I hop out. Don't just sit there. Let's get them in the vehicle. So I'm totally kind of oblivious about this worm situation going on. Sounds like a lot of par for the course with this place here being unsanitary and everything else, and there's not enough people on staff to operate this place, so we need to get out of here.
That's what we need right now is an efficiency expert. Thank you very much.
Yes, that's what I'll be going on about. Is I'm
Mhm.
trying to, like this
Right.
is to be expected. Totally,
Ah. I missed that. Am I in the vehicle with you?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
would have. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So,
All right. So, does Hamada have any? Does she have any actions that she's going to take? Is she a
well,
little more responsive?
yeah, a little more responsive, but it's like, okay, so they're all lying down in the fetal position. Is that what you said?
No. Morgan is trying to pick Benny up, but it seems to be struggling with him.
Okay.
Only Yoko is in the fetal position up against the wall of
Okay.
the
Well,
mine.
all right. Well, she's the one not moving. He's the one not moving. They're the one not moving. So, I will make my way to Yoko and see what situations.
Okay. So you can try. I mean, you have a few options. You could try to. I would imagine that Hamada probably has some sort of stimulant or something that that she could use to try to snap him out of it.
Right. I
Or she could try to talk
have
him
the
down and.
electrostatic shotgun. Shotgun. That
Oh,
would
there
that
you
would
go.
snap. Yeah, the Wayland ES7 Supernova dual action electrostatic shotgun. That might snap
Yeah,
them out of
just
it.
with just
Yeah, you can
just a
goose them
light
with that a
touch.
little bit. Yeah.
Jesus.
Get near them.
I don't know. I'm just gonna shake Yoko and like come on, we gotta go. Snap out of it.
All right. It doesn't take much to get him to respond. Doon Yoko, kind of tuned out as to what was going on, and didn't kind of stopped responding. And then all of a sudden, he's being shaken by his compatriot, which he recognizes and realizes and remembers the bad things that have been going on.
I think you just see despair in my eyes.
We got no time for despair. We gotta move. Gotta move.
I'll just stand up and then plop myself into the back of the Jeep.
Okay. I'm going to say, if you're not going to help with Benny, I'm going to say that Hamada and Morgan managed to get Benny into the back of the Jeep. And you guys
I'm rolling my
start.
eyes at Yoko while I'm doing it.
And Tan, starts driving the Jeep out back to the colony. And Morgan is begging them to take him to Diego so that they can figure out what's wrong with him.
As we're driving, I mean, do we see any signs of these black worms or anything?
Yeah, so as you get out into the light that Tan had turned on and you get close to the Merino house, you start seeing these worms both on Hamada. There's one on Hamada now.
What?
There is there's still a couple that are wriggling up the forearm of Yoko, and they are all over Benny and Morgan.
These are like flat black worms.
They're maybe an inch long, and yeah, you're not sure if they're flat, but they're pretty small.
Are they burrowing into our skin or anything?
No, they're wriggling across your clothing, trying. They look like they're headed towards your skin, like your hands.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. So is it possible
But Morgan and Benny are covered in them, and Benny's eyes are pitch black.
Yeah, yeah. All right. I think we need to get them. Well, they're screwed. But we no. I mean, I'm
No?
gonna focus on picking them off myself and Yoko.
Okay. Yeah, I
All
mean it
right.
doesn't take much. It doesn't take much effort to flick them off.
Yeah.
You start searching each other and making sure that you got them all. And by the time that you get to the Parks house, you're fairly confident they're all gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing a double take because of it. All that talk. If he's laying in the back and his eyes are black and he's covered with these things,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
We need to get him off the, out of this vehicle. Hose him
Okay.
down or something.
Well, yeah. I don't think we should handle them any further until we've got these things. Is there a hose? Is there a water hose or anything nearby?
Amada remembers seeing some water hoses at the greenhouse that actually had plants growing inside.
That's right. That's right. Pull a Yui. We got to go back over there. The greenhouse.
Okay, I'm hitting the gas, filling out.
Morgan, you can see that Morgan is concerned when all of a sudden you pull away from the Parks house. She said, "Where are you going?"
We got to get these things off you. There's water hose in the greenhouse.
And when you say that, he starts looking at him, more concerned about himself than his son for just a moment. And he sees all these things all over him, and he starts freaking out. What? Oh my God! What are they? And he looks over to Yoko, and he makes eye contact, and you can see some of these worms wriggling across the whites of his eyes.
Oh, he's screwed too.
Oh, jeez.
All right. I'm making sure my pulse rifle's ready. That's it. No. Actually, wait a minute. How about the Wayland ES7 Supernova dual action electrostatic shotgun? That's what we're going to have at the ready. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, you pull up to the greenhouse, and
I get out quickly. Yeah,
Hamada directs you to where that hose was, and you easily manage to get it out and point it towards the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just hose them down as much.
Yeah, I'll get out of the way because I don't want any of these things getting knocked off them and onto any of us. Right?
Yeah. The spray is going to be
all right
away from us.
Well, I mean, this isn't a fire hose, but you manage. You kind of stagger forward a little bit so that you're not getting any of the water sprayed on you. That's on Morgan. That hits Morgan and Benny. But you do a good hose off of both. I assume you want to hose off Hamada and Yoko for safety purposes. And then Morgan and Benny in the back of the vehicle and everything. And Morgan's going along with this because he's covered in these things, but you can see Benny's seizures seem to have stopped, and he's lying motionless as you hose him off.
Jeez. It's still got black eyes or whatever.
If you're going to touch him and pull his eyes, his eyelids open, I can tell you, but his eyes are shut.
Oh, his eyes are shut? Okay.
Yeah.
Staring off into the void.
May I suggest the use of some tweezers to open his eyes?
No, I'm not going to even bother. No, I'll just look, after I turn the hose away. Does it look like it's doing any kind of effect on removing these little wiggly worms?
You mean when you hose them down?
Yeah.
I mean, you see the water seems to be washing them off, but it doesn't seem to have any impact on Benny's state. He's still unconscious on the ground.
And they're still on him. Yeah.
No, I mean the ones that were still crawling on him, you managed to wash off. when you spray them.
Okay. Yeah, but they're just going in the ground. Are they trying to crawl back? After I turn the hose off then for a second to see if because
I
once
mean,
that speed stops,
they're only an inch long, so they move really slow. But I mean, you can see them in the puddle of water that
yeah.
you've created by hosing everybody off. But you don't feel like you're in any danger of them getting back on you because
Okay, does he look like he's breathing? The boy.
you can see a very shallow breath. Like you can his lungs are expanding and contracting, but almost imperceptibly so.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, jeez.
Maybe I can get Hama to give mouth to mouth. So
I don't think so.
Oh man, I wish
I,
Bertram was here.
I feel like
Jeez.
I feel like I need to strip down. I don't feel like I got all these worms off of
Yeah,
me.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Strip down and I'll
Okay.
hose you off.
Like
Yeah,
I
you to do that.
I think no, I really feel like I still have worms on or in me, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing.
I'm actually going to say that Yoko's threat. You're not going to be panicked anymore. You're going to need like severe. You're going to need some time to completely calm down.
Yeah.
But I'm going to drop your panic to 8.
Okay.
And your stress is going to go down 1 to 4.
Okay. Because now that I have the help
just
of my
because, yeah,
friends.
yes, and you feel like some of the stuff has been washed off you, and even though you still have that creepy crawly feeling,
Oh yeah.
like there might some itch or something might be one of these things. It's not like preventing you from actually doing anything at this point.
Yeah.
So with some downtime, and and maybe spending time with with your buddy or your signature item, and kind of
Yeah.
relaxing and that sort of thing, you can drop your panic to 0 and your stress
If I
even
get
further.
back to the ship, basically, I can I collect a sample like one of these worms or a couple of them?
Do you have? Yeah, I would say being a scientist, you probably have something to be able to take samples like that. Sure. Yes.
oh, like tweezers?
Probably. Like a little eye droplet and some sort of tiny what do you call them? Like a vial or something
Vial, yeah.
to put them in. Yeah. I mean, Yoko is a scientist, so
Yeah, normally I would cook soil
you-
samples in these or something.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Is there any tarps or anything in the greenhouse here that we can transfer Benny onto so that we can get him in the quad wrapped up?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you managed to get some. They have. They seem a little worn, like might have some holes in them, but yeah, I mean, you'd be able to kind of isolate them in one of those a bit.
Okay. How about we do that and then throw him in the back, far in the back, and or strap him to the hood.
Drag you behind on the tarp. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to get in the back with him. We can walk.
No, we don't.
We can
No,
walk at
no,
this
yeah,
point.
exactly. Well, I'm not going to, but yeah, and then get him back over to, I don't know. He needs to be looked at, but he needs to be somewhat isolated from the rest of us too.
Okay.
I imagine Benny in the back with his dad, and Tan driving, and Amida in the passenger seat, and we'll walk over slowly.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a good idea. All right.
Okay.
Where are we going though?
Park's house, right?
Okay. I don't know what we have,
Mm,
what facilities we have around here. So okay,
Yeah, at
fine.
least you have the doctor.
Hmm. Okay.
All right. So you start heading over from the greenhouse to the Parks house to try to get Diego to look at him. Uh, when you arrive there, you notice that Diego, his son, are arguing with with Amelia, Diego's wife, and you can see that she is holding a shotgun.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Jeez.
Go over it. Um, okay. I just have to go put Sam to bed, and then I'll be right
Okay.
back. Okay. Okay.
All right. Yeah, maybe why don't we take a bio break real quick
Yeah. Okay.
while he's gone, so we don't, I don't
Yeah.
think we should resolve anything until we're all
Yeah.
here.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Is it
Uh,
Diego?
it's not aimed at anybody, but
Oh.
Amelia is holding a shotgun,
Oh. Okay.
and
Amelia
she's arguing with her husband Diego.
at the Parks house.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's all straightened out here. Hey, are you in Joth on Wednesday night?
So you're pulling up with Morgan and Benny in the trunk. Benny's wrapped up in a tarp you pulled out of one of the greenhouses. And you, as you're pulling up, you start to realize that the entire Marino family is outside of the Parks house. The mother Amelia is holding a shotgun and seems to be. She doesn't have it point. I want to clarify that because Todd brought it up. She does not have it pointed at anybody, but she's holding the shotgun and having an argument with her husband.
Right.
As you get closer, right before Tan stops the jeep, you realize that the argument is about Amelia wanting to kill the parks, and Diego wants to at least see if they can if he can treat the problem. And Amelia says, I don't care about them. I care about the two of you. And if we're going to get off this planet, I'm not going to allow them to risk our survival from this rescue team. And Diego is like calmly saying, I understand what you're saying, sweetheart, but we've already killed one of them, and we can't kill an entire family. We need to give it an opportunity.
What was that?
You don't need to expose ourselves. I just want to see if I can do something. And this is just as you're hearing this, Tan's pressing on the brakes and coming up to the three of them.
Right. Okay, who got killed? What?
You don't know. They haven't explained it to you.
I know that.
The only thing. Oh, you're going to ask them?
Squeeze me? Yeah. Okay. No, but okay. What's this all about? Who got killed? Who'd you kill?
There's when resources started to get tight, some violence took place, and a member of each of our families was killed, and we're not proud of it, and we resolved it as best we could. And he kind of, this is Diego speaking, and he kind of looks down at the ground and says, Danny killed Benny's mom, but not until they killed his grandfather, and we worked it out as best we can, but the only way we could survive was by putting our heads together, working together, and salvaging and living off of what little we have here.
Well, we better keep it that way if we're going to survive getting off this planet. So everybody just stay frosty, all right?
All right.
Maybe don't go waving around that shotgun too much, okay, lady?
Are you going to reiterate this with your own rifle, or are you going
straight?
to
I am. Yes. No.
Okay. All right. I wouldn't know how
because Hamada has the Wayland ES7 Supernova dual action electrostatic shock gun. Okay. Actually, I have a question. Actually, I'm looking at my character sheet, and it says it's inactive.
That just means that you're not. That just means you don't have it in your hands. Is what inactive.
How do I put it in my hand so it is active? Because
Oh, you don't need to worry about that.
Oh,
There's a whole bunch of functionality in the character sheets that we're not concerned
okay.
with, except in heated combat.
He
Okay.
just needs you to know that his finger's always on the trigger.
Always on the trigger in the
Just
Wayland DS7 Supernova Dual
raise
Action
one
Extra Stack
finger.
Shotgun. That's right. Okay.
All right, so give me a manipulation roll,
Talking to me.
and
Okay.
yes,
Yes.
and I'm going to give you. I guess there's no pop up. It just rolls, right? I'm going to give you an extra die because of your you being a Marine and having a superior weapon. I'm going to give you an extra die, but it turned out to be a 4. So do you want to push? If you push, you'll get to re-roll everything, including this extra die.
If I push, I get to re. I'll push. There we go.
Okay, you got 2 successes. I guess I might as well re-roll it. All right, you have 2 successes. You
Okay.
can see the fire in Amelia's eyes has dropped and is extinguished when she, sees the size of your pulse rifle. Or no,
Right.
I'm sorry, your static shotgun.
That's right.
Or electro shotgun. Sorry.
Electro shotgun.
And so she kind of, dropped the right or the shotgun to one hand where she's just holding it towards the barrel's pointed at the ground, and she says, I just want to make sure my family's safe."
Well, you leave that to us, all right? And you stress everybody out with your weapon isn't going to help. So you just lower that thing. Actually, in fact, why don't you just give it to me, all right? And I'll.
And you have 2 successes, so she is certainly going to relent and give you the shotgun,
Okay.
but she does so a little reluctantly.
Okay.
And you can see, she is going to acquiesce to whatever it is that you're going to have Diego. I assume you're going to have Diego look at him, but
Look good. Oh yes, definitely. Yeah. All right.
all right.
I'll hand the shotgun over to Tan if he can handle it.
I'd rather have the
The ES Wayland ES7 tool action.
I'll take the shotgun. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I'll nod to you, in thanks, because it looks like it's come down to me having to do this since Yoko especially has lost his sensibilities right now.
all right. So Tan is a little dismayed at the maintenance that the shotgun has, or the quality of the maintenance of the shotgun, and questions whether it would even fire more than once or twice. But I'm going to transfer that to you, and Diego is going to start taking a look at them if you're going to allow him to.
Yes, I think we should.
Hey.
All right, you now have the shotgun. Damn. I'm going to delete it from hers. I guess all right, here we go. Huh, not sure how to delete it. I'll figure that out later. All right, so you're going to allow Diego to, do you want him to look at somebody, one of them, the 2 of them first?
What do you guys think here on this one? I think our biggest threat right at the moment is possibly Benny, because he's
I mean that
he's more infested with these things than the others.
Yeah, we need to take care. She's worried about her family, so
oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
We need to address that. You already made her give shotgun over, so we need to.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Put our attention on that.
Sure. All right.
So I'm going to roll his medical aid. Does anybody have medical aid that is willing to assist him?
I do.
Are you willing to assist him?
Yeah.
All right, Yoko is in a condition to participate. Doon,
Yep.
does he have medical aid that you want to help?
I do have medical aid.
Do you want to help?
Help, just assess Benny's condition. Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So he got no successes. I'm going to roll a die for both of you to it since you're assisting. I don't think he got a success. Otherwise, it'd be more than 6. Oh wait, no, that is a success. Why did it only roll 1? Weird. Oh, I only rolled 1d6. That's why. Here's the other one. All right, so you guys got 1 success. So the 3 of you, after cautiously, assessing, taking his vitals, seeing, how his body responds, and doing some basic scans with a handheld device that Diego has. You are convinced that he is in a coma.
Oh, jeez.
And there's no there's no medical reason for him to be in a coma that you can tell. His brain activity is fairly high, which would generally indicate that he is conscious.
He keeps just being kind of shock announced to the others.
Yeah, so you're able to determine that it is not shock due to his vitals and that sort of thing.
It's not shock.
When
I hold up a vial of worm.
The shock would indicate a high heart rate and that sort of thing. Maybe increased temperature, that sort of thing. But those sort of vitals are fairly low. But his brain activity is unusually high for being in a coma. That is all you're able to gather with that 1 success.
Oh, okay.
Since you were not, Diego is technically the one that rolled. He cannot push, but he doesn't really have any way to treat this coma other than keep him stable. He has some medications. He could kind of even out his his breathing and his heart rate and that sort of thing, and stop spikes or drops.
I call Hamida.
That's really about it.
What's that?
I call Hamida over to the side, and while they're talking and discussing this on the tail end of it, and I say, we can't take that boy up with us, Hamida. As security, we can't bring that onto the ship.
No.
He has to be quarantined.
At the very least. At the very least.
The worms in that vial there, if they're spreading through, and we need to keep an eye on each other. These lot, and I look around.
And Morgan too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll turn over to Diego and I say, do you have any sort of quarantine facilities on site?
No,
Just a graveyard.
we don't. We don't really have very extensive medical facilities here. So I assume you're talking about some cryo storage or
At the very least,
cryopods.
or somewhere that they can safely be put that they can't get out of. We can make them at least comfortable in.
We don't have anything here active, but the only thing I could think of is maybe that cargo ship that's crashed at the other end of the ravine.
Cargo ship.
That's the thing that you guys overlooked.
Yeah.
That had the landing pad or the landing bay was down, so someone was coming and going.
That makes sense. A ship of that class would have the facility.
Okay. All right. Well, then maybe we should make for that. Take these two, and can we induce Morgan? Like, we put him unconscious or something?
Yes, Diego certainly has something that can make him unconscious.
All right.
So Diego did not do you guys didn't do an evaluation of Morgan. Do you want to do that before you head out, or do you want him to do that on his own, while you guys head over to the cargo ship?
Wait. Well, if we're going to the cargo ship, shouldn't we be taking both of them with us?
We should all be going.
We're
all going back,
right? Because we might be getting out of here. We don't know. I don't know. So what do you guys think? Why don't we take them both over after he gets checked out by Diego?
Okay, so one decision that there's one more piece of information that you should probably know before your decision is the sun is setting. It was dusk when most of this took place, but at this point, it's going to get dark soon.
Okay. So how long till sundown?
Amelia tells you it'll probably be completely dark in about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
You get a move on as long as this vehicle has some kind of lighting.
Yep.
Headlights.
Yeah, I mean, it has headlights, so you certainly would be able to see with this. It is not large enough to transport all of you.
All of us.
Because there's eight of you.
Right.
And it wouldn't be able to transport everybody. At least not reasonably. And keeping Benny and Morgan isolated would be even more difficult there.
Right. How long does it take to get to the cargo ship?
Oh, on this thing, it probably would only take like 15 minutes.
Okay. So maybe we could ferry them there. How about we take Benny there while Diego checks out Morgan?
Okay.
Then we come back.
Yeah.
Take Benny and Amelia and
take 4 people.
Violet or whatever her name is.
Well, we got to leave somebody there to watch over them too. So
this is like how do you get the cannibals across the river?
Yeah. All right. So there's 8 of us all together. Is that what it is? What I said?
That you know of. Yep,
okay.
I mean, I'm leery of that swarm, but it's gone past, right? So I'll mention.
Oh yeah. They seemed once that passed, they seemed pretty confident that those locusts wouldn't come back until the storm went by. Another storm went by.
Would you be able to get those cryo units up and running?
I can. Yes, I've worked with them before.
Okay, so you have to go.
If you need me to stay behind, and I'll keep trying to get in contact with.
All right, I'll drive this thing if I can, or Yoko can drive it. But yeah, okay. Use my good leg, yeah. All right, so me, Yoko, Benny, and we could take Violet, I guess, just so that we're.
Violet, I'm not sure if I mentioned Violet. So Violet Parks is Morgan's wife and Benny's mother. Mm-hmm. You do not know where she is.
Okay.
Morgan mentioned her, that she went off looking for Benny.
Oh, okay.
But you have never met her. You have never seen her. So the Marinos didn't mention her. So you're not sure where she is.
Okay. All right.
The last time. Actually, there's one thing. There's one thing I forgot to point out. Tan, when he was looking at the video feeds, she went inside of the warehouse, and there was no record of her leaving.
Oh, wasn't she doing this something weird, like going back and forth between the warehouse and the ore processing, or make that
She
up?
moved from the ore processing to the
Okay,
warehouse. I don't think I said she went back and forth,
okay.
but
Yeah, we probably need.
The way I see it, we're not getting off. We're not. I mean, we can leave in the night, but not. We can also stay an extra day.
Well, I
Yeah,
don't.
but the urgency of getting that boy up to the ship, get him quarantined right now, and then contact the ship. And I can also use the satellite again to see if we can determine.
And
But we need a
Dudge
party to go
Dudge
search him down.
probably Dudge can try to communicate with the ship from our shuttle.
Yeah.
So I guess if that's the priority, then we need to take Benny. We need to take Morgan, and me if I can work on the cryo.
All right, and then I'll go for security's sake. Yeah.
And the rest of everyone else has to stay.
Yeah.
okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll look for the woman with whoever's with me here.
Oh,
In
that's a
this
good idea.
facility.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
So I mean, Danny and Amelia would be the only people. I mean, because Diego's going to be wrapped up with trying to treat Morgan.
Oh wait, we're leaving Morgan.
So Morgan's not going to come with us.
Oh, I thought you were bringing Benny and not Morgan. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I thought. Yeah, but
Okay, that's
yeah,
right.
we want to get him checked out, right?
That's fair.
That's the
Yeah,
that's
if
the
he needs
last
to be
piece I
quarantined
remember.
too, they need to go together, put him in cryo, get him up to the ship where the doctor can work on him.
How long is it going to take Diego to check him out?
Probably a half hour, maybe, to
All
do
right.
a similar
Yeah,
evaluation.
We still have
when
an hour. We still have an hour to shuttle everybody to the ship.
We'll do 2
Yeah.
trips, but if we can't find Violet, then we're
No,
not
yeah.
just leaving
Yeah.
her without finding her.
But she's just in the warehouse, which is right.
Oh,
beside
I was
the
going to say we would leave her if we can't find her before sundown.
door. Oh yeah,
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, that's fine. So right now it's going to be Hamada, Yoko, Benny, going.
Amelia. Take Amelia too.
Oh, Amelia, sure. Going over to our shuttle and the downed cargo ship.
Mhm.
And the others are staying back. Diego's checking out Morgan, and Tan is looking for Violet.
Okay.
Got it.
And I assume Danny is staying too, right? With his father.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's just, while you guys are driving, let's just do the roll for. Oh wait, that's Danny's character sheet. Hold on. I'm just going to do the medical aid roll for Diego, and
No help.
you got 1 success this time. So I assume he'll impart this information to Tan at whenever he's available during his search for Violet.
yeah.
But he will have some more information for Tan when the two of them are in proximity to one another.
Gotcha.
All right. So Yoko and Hamada start heading down the ravine in this 4x4 with Amelia and Benny, right? And it doesn't take long for you to get to the ship. You can see the light on in the dropship. You know, you assume that that is your pilot, Dudge. You know, killing some time. He's been down here for about 8 to 10 hours by himself at this point.
Right.
Are you going to Are you going to contact him, or are you just going to head directly to the?
I think we should make contact with them.
Judge
Maybe
incoming
he's-
with survivors.
Mhm.
He says over the comms, like, "Gotcha. What do you need me to do? Should I prep for launch?"
Yes.
All right. All right. I guess Tan might be left behind. But, yeah, he starts. He says, Roger, I'll start the diagnostics, and you start hearing some like switches get flipped and stuff before his comms cut out.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So you're going to head to the cargo ship, right?
Cargo
that
ship,
was
yep.
down.
Mhm.
All right. So this cargo ship is of the time and era and technology level of what the far spinward colonies would have had. This is most likely from what you would imagine. The scenario with this colony is this transport ship would normally come down to the landing pad, take some processed ore, and fly it off to some other colony that needed the ore.
Right. So how old would you say the ship is?
It's probably. I'll tell you what. If you give me no, because then we might go into a stress spiral.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
I don't know. I don't know.
you're
I don't
saying
even know.
it's,
I don't even know. I don't
it's
care.
probably about 50 years old. You would imagine it's
Okay.
probably been here for about 50 years.
Shit.
I mean, with some work, like days of work, you might be able to get it to fly again, but it's going to need whole work. You don't even know what the
God.
inside of the place is, what sort of condition that's in. So, I mean, it may be salvageable, but most likely you would use it for parts.
All we care about is that there might be a cryo unit on it that can power
I mean,
up.
they certainly had cryo units. They are of, a lower quality. They don't have the, they don't have such a broad array of health diagnostics. You can't see the
Right.
condition of the patient at just by looking at a panel.
Right.
But they can certainly put them into cryostasis and isolate them because that was the necessity for such long distance travel.
Right. Okay. So, Yoko, you were gonna be able to see if we can get one of these things running.
Let's see if we can find one first. Or let's see
Okay.
what's been taken. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So the two of you are heading inside while you leave Benny in the back of the Jeep with. Or are you bringing? What's Amelia doing? Are you leaving her with Benny, or bringing her with you?
Well,
if he moves, shoot him.
Yeah, I think something along those lines. Right. This isn't her son, right?
No, I'm joking. Don't shoot him.
No, this is the son of the other family, right?
So she wouldn't have a problem doing this if she had to.
He would definitely.
If she seemed to be ready to shoot them before.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that might not.
Don't give her the gun.
No, I'm not going to give her the gun. Are you kidding? Okay.
Give her the Wayland.
Give her a Wayland ES7 Supernova dual action electrostatic shotgun. Never. Are we gonna carry him in there looking for this thing, or are we gonna go in first and find it? Confirm we even have one. Right?
No, we're gonna go in there. We're gonna go in there without them. We're gonna leave them in the car outside, and then we're gonna go inside, and then we're gonna wheel this thing out. Hopefully
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's just take our chances. We'll take our chances. Leave her with him. All right. She doesn't have to sit in the vehicle with him. All right.
Right. But she's disarmed, so she would have to strangle him or something if she wanted.
No. If anything happens, how far are we from the dropship?
From the dropship, probably about 200 yards.
Okay.
Yeah. If you need anything, just radio Dudge. He's a great conversationalist.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. And you give her a brief primer on how to operate the radio and contact Dutch. She seems fairly intelligent and able to manage the
Okay.
radio.
All right. So anything weird happens, okay, you get on the radio with Dutch, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's go. Lock and load.
All right. So you start heading into the ship. Um, when you get inside at first, the first thing you come across is the cargo area. Obviously, that's near the landing bay, and the ramp leads directly into the cargo ship or the cargo area. It looks like it's been completely ransacked. There are metal containers, like with the lids pulled off and turned over and emptied out. There is a lot of uh, uninteresting cargo, like fabrics and rotted food that is all dried up and barely identifiable. It looks like this area has been picked completely clean. This isn't a huge ship, so as the two of you start making your way through, you're able to quickly discern where the most likely location of the cryopods are.
Okay.
Are you doing a full sweep of the ship, or are you going directly for the cryopods?
We're on a mission, I think. I don't think we're interested in assessing even what the condition of everything is.
We don't need to go looking through every single nook and cranny of the ship to make sure there's nothing on it, right? No.
Yeah.
Just go for the
Okay.
cryopods. Yep.
All right. So, using some, basic logic of your knowledge of the layouts of these ships, you're able to locate the cryopod room. These cryopods, as you go in, your heart sinks a bit as you realize that some of these have been like torn apart or stripped of parts. But upon further evaluation, you see that there are 3 functioning or potentially functioning cryopods. There's no power in this ship, so you have no means of, trying to fire one of these up. But 3 of them look to be in operational condition, or maybe with some minor repairs, you may be able to get them operational. Unfortunately, you could try to dislodge these. These are built into the ship and designed for long-term travel and are powered by the ship. You could try to jury rig something so that you could power this with an independent power source and move it around. Or you could just, disconnect it and pull it out and put Benny in it and hope for the best.
All right. Are these? If we put Benny in this thing unpowered, one, would he be able to get out on his own? And 2, would it be airtight and would he suffocate?
It would be airtight. The locking mechanism is powered, so if he woke up and just pushed on the door, it would open unless you secure it through some other physical means, and he would suffocate over just maybe 5 to 10 minutes as he goes through the oxygen that's in there, because there's no power to the the life support system.
Right. So I look over at Yoko and I'm like, I don't know how this isn't like a situation that we can win here. I'm thinking, we put Benny and Morgan in these things and we tell them that they're powered up and working, and then we, oops.
Who are you trying to fool here?
Yoko. I I'm concerned if we can't take them up on the ship.
What
They're
about the suits? Would a suit be sufficient?
a suit.
The vacuum.
A suit isn't going to stop them from exposing you, because it does, when they exhale, it does release the air into the atmosphere, like outside of the suit. It's not like a pure recycling. So it has, like, so when you're wearing a suit to be out in space, it's pressurized. It's providing you oxygen through the oxygen tank, but when you exhale, it's going to release some of that air out into space. So
What if we strap them
they
to the
could
ship?
they
Ah,
they could they could potentially expose you if you just put them in a suit.
I'm serious. What? Okay,
Ugh.
we're leaving the planet. We're not entering orbit. We're not entering the planet's atmosphere. So we're not having like a, that burn up, right?
Oh
Which
yeah,
into
you
the
are.
atmosphere.
You
What? Are
absolutely
we?
are. The ship is in high orbit, is in space outside of the atmosphere.
I get that, but I mean, when the ship goes up into high orbit,
I see what you're saying.
we're not we're
Okay,
not we're
I'm
not
sorry.
in
I
friction with the
misunderstood.
atmosphere, right? So you don't like.
I thought you were saying that the ship was inside the atmosphere. Okay,
No,
I'm
no, no.
sorry. I misunderstood
Okay.
what you're saying.
So I'm saying if we're concerned about them exhaling into the air in the ship, why don't we actually strap them unconscious to the outside of the ship and go? And then once we get up there, then we can get them into a cryo unit.
It makes logical sense.
Unless you got another idea.
Um, I'm going.
The ship have a luggage
I'm
rack.
sorry. I'm going to.
I think
like on the back of a school bus.
that's a good idea, Hamida.
Uh,
But I think I might be able to jury rig this thing to be able to be powered
yeah.
by a
Okay.
power cell.
Well, yeah, I'm going to say that Yoko kind of shudders from this idea, and something that pops into his head is, if you move these from this ship into the drop ship, you can probably power it from the drop ship.
Yes, I think if we can just manage to get them over there.
But it's going to take time.
Power will be okay. Yes. Yeah. I think maybe I might need Tan's help with the wiring.
Yeah, I'm an
wiring.
expert at that by now.
Yes, this is going to be a heavy machinery role to do this, which is Windows' specialty, but he is up in the ship.
That's right.
I will tell you that. Who was it that I just? Danny is trained in heavy machinery, and that is actually Amelia's specialty. She has 2 ranks in heavy machinery.
Oh,
Is somebody doing a roll?
I'm sorry.
Right now?
I did.
That's okay.
Um,
That's okay. I mean, if you want to try it by yourself, you got it.
well, I was going to say that. I was going to just not to like complete the whole job, but at least to like get started and like
Okay.
assess the viability. Like that's kind of what I wanted to do.
Okay. Why don't we say that this occurs over some time, and you potentially get the help from Amelia, and we'll see what we get.
Okay. And then I'll
Right.
I'll express clearly to the group that like I think this will work, but I really don't think we're getting off before a night. I think we're gonna have to stay here.
Yeah, so your success is going to tell you that you can certainly get this done. It's really just a matter of time. So you managed to scrounge up some of the tools that you need throughout the ship, and are very confident you can disconnect both of these And with some effort, you can lug them all the way over. I mean, because each one weighs probably about maybe 150 pounds, all the way over to the dropship and connect them there. And you feel you can make them both operational. Amelia says, with just the four of you here, it would probably take like all night to do that. Or I'm sorry, there's only three of you here. Well, Dudge is there. So, yeah, between the four of you, you could probably get this done overnight with both of these cryopods.
Why don't I drive back then and get the others?
That sounds like a good plan. I mean, even if you want to if we want to shuttle a group of people up to the Silvetsky Island, that's even makes sense. Like there's enough work that needs to be done down here to get to detach them that you could go. I mean, I'd be okay with it.
Actually, would it help to have windows down here?
Oh, that's not a bad idea too. Yeah.
We shuttled up.
Oh yeah.
Back down.
Windows could probably do everything except lug them over to the dropship in like an hour or two.
Okay, so why don't we send one group up?
Yeah. Okay.
Why don't you? I'll start working here. You take the jeep back. You can even leave Amelia, Benny, if you see who's ready to go.
Right. Okay. And then we'll send the ship up.
We'll see what Tam, if he's found it ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So
I'll head back then.
we got 15 minutes. So why don't we figure out? So Tan has been searching the area. I assume he's basically going to the warehouse first, since he knows that's most likely last location, right, Del?
I have a stooge with me. You know, I mean, or a meat shield.
Yeah,
Danny.
Danny's following you around reluctantly, only because his father insisted that you do, or that he does.
Okay.
You get the sense that this kid is doesn't contribute a whole lot to this place.
Okay. All right. I'll tell him to kind of keep on my six a little bit and run for help if need be or whatnot. You know what I mean? But he'll follow, and I'll give him some kind of a flashlight too, or you know what I mean.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and he's flashing it around, looking to the sides rather than forward. But he's following you. He doesn't look too terribly interested in participating in this search.
It's a member of his small group here, right?
Yes, of the other family.
Of the other family, yeah. So
yes.
I would suspect that maybe, to get off this rock, and I'll kind of stop and grab him by the little lapels and lift him up. And, kid, if we want to get off this rock in time, they'll be back here soon to get us. We need to find her. And it's going to, she'll recognize she'll answer your voice quicker than she will mine. She's in here. Call out.
All right.
The quicker we can find her, the quicker we can get this done.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get in there and just. I ain't going to be overly cautious so much because I saw her go in there by herself, and this isn't the back of a mine. You know what I mean? But I will keep an eye out to see if there's a barrel, even though it's highly improbable to me.
Wait. So the last place she was in the warehouse. So, and I thought that's where you were going.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. I'm saying I'm not so worried about it because we're not going into a cesspool of a mine, to pick up these worms. But the kid said something about it being in the barrel that they opened up. So I'll just subconsciously have my, if I see a barrel, I'll kind of like be a little bit leery of it.
Okay.
But other than that, this is a warehouse. It could contain something like that,
Yes, I got you.
So
Just
I'm just looking at
loaded with
column.
canisters of.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
stacks
you
upon
you, you go into the warehouse, and this is I mean, it's a fairly like large building.
Yeah.
Um, it's almost the size of the harvester kennel that has that giant ore machine or mining machine inside of it. There's just like rows of shelves. You can see a power
Are they
loader that's
labeled?
been stripped of part. No, there's no labels at this point. No.
Okay, I'll
Uh,
try to
there,
shake my head, but I'm looking for the stacking coordination of things. If there's any kind of
right, right.
organization, to it. But anyway,
Uh, there's a power loader that's kind of that looks like it's been had wires and stuff ripped out of it. Um, and you start, making your way through here. Are you going to have Danny follow you, or are you going to split
yeah,
up?
we'll both be searching. I want him to call out is to her. You know what I mean? She'll recognize his voice more. So I've never met her.
Okay, all right. So he's following behind you, calling out for Violet.
Yeah, swinging his little
Okay.
flashlight around and whatnot.
All right. So yeah, the two of you are kind of scanning around, and every 10 seconds or so, Danny calls out for Violet and Mrs. Marine or Mrs. Parks, um, and you're not getting any response. Um, as you make your way to the back, you can see that there is a series of shelves that have collapsed, like they fell over.
Okay, this is not overly unexpected, but I am looking for maybe footprints if it's dusty in here, or either I don't know if it's a dirt floor or whatever, but uh, to see if I'm going to look to see if she is pinned under any of this falling debris because it is
Okay, so
a hazard.
all right, so the two of you start heading towards these fallen shelves. Danny continues to call out for Violet, and you, amongst the fallen shelves, you can see that there seems to be some sort of safe in, or not a safe, but a kind of like a lockbox that has clattered to the ground and is under, kind of not pinned, but you'd have to like work your way under the collapsed shelves to get to it. It would be a pretty
Okay.
tight fit.
Okay. About how big is the box? Just
Uh, Probably about maybe 3 square feet or cubic feet, I should say.
about the size of a casket or so.
No. It's about
No.
like 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot, or no, or yeah, we're a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah. I'll Danny, swing the light over here. You know what I mean? Just to look for her amongst the debris, and I see that, and that's when I'll latch onto it. Here, help me. Move this aside. And I'll yank it out and see what I can see. Is it unhinged or is it locked?
It is open, and it's kind of fit like the opening. You can see the door, the hinge of the door is open. It's like the opening is towards the ground, and
Okay.
you manage to kind of reach in and grab the handle of it, and that's when you see the crushed body of Violet Parks, or who you assume is Violet Parks.
Oh, so
They look like
crushed
they've
body.
died. Yeah, they look like
Uh,
they've died recently. One of the shelves fell on her upper body and cracked her skull, and there is a large pool of blood. You can see her hand reaching towards this lockbox. I'm
okay.
going
I,
to
I have a
your
little.
stress.
I have a little start. Uh, as I see this, as I'm uncovering it, and I see her, so I'll let go real quick, and and then I'll tell him, Danny, go over there for a minute. You know what I mean, or watch the door.
All right. And he complies. Your stress is going to go up by 1.
Yeah.
And you're going to continue to pull the lockbox towards you.
Yeah, I'll do that. Curious, since I'm putting 2 plus 2 together, as to what she may have been reaching for. This must have been important. I'll say to myself as I flip it over.
You pull it towards you enough to be able to flip the lockbox over, and you can see a pile of both empty and partially filled bottles of booze that were inside of it.
Okay,
Some
I'll
of them
give a little
broken.
sigh and look at her and shake my head. Don't you know drinking will kill you? And then I'll say kind of all that, and then clasp it shut and pick it up. If there's any device that I can take a picture with on me, I'll do that. But
yeah, I'm going to say you don't have anything to take a picture with.
I'll turn on my heel. Once I stare at her for a moment to make sure she's not breathing or whatnot, and then but from the look of it, with the crushed skull and everything, I stand up and then I'll walk to the door and tell Danny, let's go. We've got our answer.
What's the answer? You realize that he didn't see the body.
I'll wait until I'll say come on and like to the next little area a few steps beyond. I'll be ready to grab him if he tries to turn around, but it's violent. She fell underneath the shelves.
Oh,
they crushed her.
Oh, he doesn't seem too broken up. He doesn't seem too broken up about it.
But
yeah,
want you to see her, boy. Let's get back.
He starts following you, and is fairly quiet on your trip back to the housing and the control block. Was there anything else you wanted to do?
No, I'm more interested in, as far as him parting ways, he can go tell. I'll go. I want to get back to the little. You try to radio the Solovetsky again, but I want to tell who I need to tell about her first. So.
Okay, I don't want to have you establish contact with the ship quite yet. I think we should either figure out what happened there in the day that has taken place, certainly if some of you are going back up to the ship to get, windows and maybe Bircher, then
that's right.
we should figure out what happens before then.
But I'll preview and use the satellite to make sure that I can isolate where they are and if they're returning yet.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just my little bit.
Yeah. In fact, by the time you get back up to the comms array and start, looking at the satellite footage, you can see that they're almost here.
Okay.
They're probably only about 10 minutes out.
Right,
Danny goes back to his father, who is still with Morgan inside their house. All right. So as you see, you see that somebody's returning on the Jeep. Are you getting out to meet them, or is there more that you want to do in the comms array?
Oh, I'll get out to meet them. I'm gonna slide them each, even though it's against regulations. This is some of the booze that is still in the box. I'll throw it into the back.
Oh, okay. You just all right.
Yeah,
you just
into the
grab some of that.
crack it open and hand it, take a drink. I think we all need it.
I will actually drop your stress by 1 if you're going to take a beat and enjoy some of this alcohol.
Yeah. And
So
then I'll let them know about the woman. You know what I mean?
All right, so that's okay. So your stress is going to drop from 2 down to 1. And you see, I assume Hamida, I think everybody else stayed, right?
Yeah, I just came back alone.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, where's now I'll ask about what went on, and I guess you relay that information.
I'll relay that information to you. Yeah, so I'm here to take whoever is ready to go.
Well, Violet's not going to be ready. I can tell you that.
How's that?
And that's when I pass you the bottle, and I'll say she was reaching for this. And I'll crack it open and give it to you up there, and top the shelves topple on top of her and crush her skull. Yeah, the boy went with me, but I turned him aside before he saw. But he's off telling his folks about it. But I told him tell him to get ready. So, shall we go pick him up?
Take a big swig because I'm in a bit of pain from this leg.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be having any. But I'll make an exception
not.
this time. And I'll pass him back the bottle and say, "Okay, let's load him up. Get out of here."
All right. I dropped Hamida's stress by 1 as well.
Okay.
So what's the plan? You get both Morgan, Diego, and Danny, and just head back towards the cargo ship.
Is that all we got left? Is that all we got left? Danny, Diego.
That's all you got left.
And Morgan. 1, 2, 3.
That's 5.
5. Who's sitting on the hood?
I guess Morgan. If you're trying to ice. Oh no, there's so, you can keep Morgan in the trunk, and then the rest of you would fit in just fine.
Okay, let's do that then.
We haven't found Violet's mother. Is that who's missing?
No, Violet.
That's
the
Benny's mother.
Benny.
Benny's mother is Violet. Yes.
Oh, wait.
She's the one that died.
Oh, Benny's mother is Violet. Okay, sorry, I was confused.
So her name is Violet.
Violet?
She's not colored violet, no.
Yeah. Well,
what?
Violet, you're turning violet, Violet.
You're turning violet. Never mind. I'm just trying to make it funny. Sorry.
Okay, I was
right.
totally confused. I thought Violet was like Benny's sister. Because okay, Violet is Benny's mother.
Oh,
got it.
Yes.
Got it. Yep. All right.
Yeah, she's.
Let's get so we can get the 5 of us out of here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll pull up and screech to stop, load them up with very, very little patience, and hurry them up on there and then head out.
Yeah.
We got
Okay.
to get to the ship and take off. They're prepping to leave. If I know anything about what's the pilot's name? Drudge.
Dutch.
Yeah.
Dutch.
He's ready to go.
Or Drudge. Right. Dutch.
Dutch.
No
Dutch.
R. No R.
But it's not Dutch. It's Dutch.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's get back to that jump ship.
Yeah.
All right. So you make you make the 15-20 minute drive back. It's pretty much pitch black at this point. You're making your way through. Is Dudge taking off by himself to get the other crew, like to bring more crew back, or are people going with him?
I think we should send like as many of these
Yeah, I think everyone should go up except for Morgan and Benny.
essentials.
Morgan,
Yeah,
Benny,
and
and me were the 3 people who were exposed. We're gonna, we can
Send Bircher down to evaluate
Okay.
y'all before.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Amelia, Hamida, and Tan are going up in the ship with Dudge.
Yeah.
and Danny.
And Danny
Okay, wait.
And
Say
then,
that
and then I
again.
assume,
Okay, wait. So Hamada,
right,
Diego.
sorry.
Okay,
Yes.
Hamada, Diego,
Danny.
Danny,
Danny,
Tan,
Han,
Ranny.
and he keeps repeating these people. Okay, let's talk about PCs and crew members first.
Okay.
It's going to be Tan, Dudge, and Hamada that are going up, right?
Right.
Yep.
Okay, and then in addition to that, NPCs are going to be Diego, Danny, and Amelia. Basically, all of the parks
Marinos.
or the Marinos. I'm sorry, the Marinos. None of the parks are going, and Yoko is not going.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So let's say this is what we'll do. Yoko, is staying down with the two infected parks members of the parks family.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do what work he can without,
Mm-hmm.
the physical labor necessary to transport these from one ship to the other.
Right.
Everybody else is going to go up to the Solovetsky Island. So the ship, Dudge has the ship ready to go. Once the five of you have returned, you move the parks to the maybe just outside of the the downed cargo ship. The rest of you get to the drop ship. Dudge fires up the engine and takes off. Yoko sees them, disappear up into space. And we will pick up about 15 hours before this point and find out what happened to the ship and what they're going to encounter when they return.
It's like one of those TV shows where it's like 15 hours earlier, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
I like it. I like it.
What happened? Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Super.
And Doon, you can pick one of the crew members or that you can play over the course of that. Maybe Emily or Lakota.
Why don't you just play Danny? He could be.
Oh
no, Danny's going to be on.
He can be that eye rolling.
No, Danny's not there yet. Danny's not there yet.
No.
I mean,
no. This is
you're with us though. Oh, you got you 15 hours earlier.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You can be there in spirit.
Yeah. All right, that's cool.
All right, so we will pick up with what happened on the ship once the Dudge actually left with Hamada, Tan, and Yoko.
Super.
Cool.
All
right, cool.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I'm
curious
of is what is the message that you're just like? What is the contents of the message or the automated message that Han left for the Solovetsky Island, right? Like from the satellite or whatever. I assume it's like sending a message to the ship. What is that? What was in that message? We don't have to decide it now. I don't know if you know.
I know. Yeah. You guys have some time. Think about it. What you want that to be, because that could be relevant towards hopefully the end of the session.
I'll probably give you a bottle before we left too. You know what I mean?
Great, super.
Liqueur.
Thanks.
So I'll preface this. Del, I know this is your first campaign with us, but traditionally we take a really long time to do things. This entire colony was supposed to be one session, which was like basically 4 hours.
Gosh.
So,
don't get me wrong. I just knew that we had encountered the alien worms, so I like a slow burn because it settles me into character more, and I kind of feel there's a realistic aspect that it's unveiling it, and there's a lot of mystery, So it's done in a different way, So don't think that I'm put off by that. I'm not like action, Action Jackson or
Good.
something.
All right, good. Yeah, because this is supposed to be like the intro colony that is supposed to go by really quick and just set things up, and
Oh boy.
then it's supposed to
It never.
and it's supposed to open up a little bit. But
Oh boy.
Happy
the
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. How many times have we said that? Oh, it's only supposed to be like two sessions, and we're like 6 sessions, 8 sessions.
You're like
Yeah.
SpongeBob. 12 sessions later.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some ongoing gags where we make fun of it or of this. Like there was one session in a Call of Cthulhu campaign where like the party just decided to start looking for hot dog vendors or got wrapped up with a hot dog vendor, and that became a running gag. But I'll try to keep
God.
this a little more serious. So
Oh.
all right, so I'm good next week. We'll keep in touch and make sure
Yeah,
everyone's available.